in Las Vegas, and he plays comedy clubs all across the country. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Rusty Nails.
Gilroy. Somebody make me some garlic ice cream right away. Are you in the singing mood? You shout. Boy, you are a happy group of people. Some a little happier than others. That's good to see. There's a couple people downstairs still. We'll just wait for them to get back before we actually start the program here. How about I buy everybody a drink before we kick it off? And all right. Now listen, when it comes around, take a little sip so y'all get some of that thing, because I'm working for Monopoly money this week. Thank you. I just got back from Phoenix. I was down there for a record-setting heat wave. It was 120 one day while I was there. They set a record. I turned the radio on, 7:30 in the morning. The DJ says, it's 7:30 right now and 115 degrees. We may set a record. Oh, bitchin'! How can I help? Gee, maybe fire up the hibachi out back or something? 120 degrees. You know, the warm setting on my oven is 110. I was crawling in there all week trying to cool off, figuring that's where I gotta go. But it's a dry heat, they tell you. Yeah, great. That makes it real easy to live. Dry heat. It's kind of like dry hump. I think dry heave is in the same category too, you know. I threw up all night last night, but it's just a dry heave. And they're playing football in this weather. They've got a new NFL team down there, Phoenix Cardinals. Stupidest name for a football team in the league. Phoenix Cardinals, these are two birds. It's like the Doberman Dachshunds or something. You can't have that kind of a name. Unless they're talking about the religious figure, the Cardinals. Yeah, it makes some great helmets for these guys, wouldn't it? You know, a headbutt would kill you. Oh, Jesus Christ! I didn't mean Jesus Christ, you know. I meant shit. And you don't grow up playing football in the desert. There's not kids saying, okay, Jenny, go to the cactus, cut left, I'll hit you by the lizard. Then I went down to New Orleans, beautiful home. You don't even move your lips when you pronounce any city in the South. That's the way it is. Home. I was down there, this guy's looking at me and he goes, who that? Get yourself a burger, gonna have a pie. What you need, what that, who that, what you are. Yeah, I guess that's what I ordered. Big Mac, fry, and a Coke, but I don't feel like a coon ass. Then I went to Las Vegas. I was performing out there for a convention of Shriners. Or else everybody in the audience was wearing their ice buckets on their head. You know, what are those hats? No brim, really. Keep the sun out of your eyes? I don't think so. The nicest part about those hats is, though, at 7-Eleven, they'll fill them with Pepsi for 49 cents. It's a pickle with a tassel, didn't you? Then I had to perform for a convention of psychics, and they laughed before every joke. Except one joke, so I didn't tell it. Why bother, you know? Then I had the square dancers to perform for a big group of go broke and fun-loving folks there, I'll tell you what. uniforms they have to wear too. The women's dresses, I think it's part of a car wash or something over there. Like maybe if you run between two of them real quick, you might clean your pants or something here. And their partners are always anorexic, Slim Whitman lookalikes. Yeah, they're just ready to dance anywhere. They don't know where they're going. There's no blood in their brain. It's been cut off here at the neck because they all have to wear a part of their partner's skirt around their neck. In case they're ever separated, I guess. I don't know what the hell this is for. It's cinched to his throat, too. It won't let blood in or out of his brain. So they hire a guy to shout directions the whole time these people dance. The caller stands over here in the corner, barks things out like, "Dang! Your partner's been them on the rail, come on, don't say no. Gonna meet him in the middle with the right left. Gonna stick him on the rail, gonna kick him in the ass, gonna promenade!" Oh. I'd love to get him drunk once before work, you know. Just turn him loose on these people. Let him play Twister naked or something. And then I had a tough gig. I had to perform for a convention of weightlifters. And I would tell them a joke and explain it. You know, I just don't think you're that smart if you make your body so big you can't scratch your own ass. I'd say, "Hey, what's your name, big guy?" At the Riviera Hotel. He's standing by the roulette wheel trying to buy a vowel. And they let him. $150. And he took a J. No. Then I saw him later on, same night, in the casino with his buddy Chuck. And this Chuck's going, "I'm winning. I'm winning, dude." And I said, "You're playing the change machine." These are 1-to-1 odds, Charlie. Swear to God, you got a buck in, buck out all night here, big guy. my butt real quick? No, I don't think so. Beautiful Las Vegas. While I was there, I went down a 200-foot water slide at one of these water parks, you know? The name of this slide is Nursuka. No, I swear to God, it's called Nursuka. Because this is the way you talk after you drop 200 feet. I actually think Nursuka is a German word that means, where's my shorts? My wife took a trip down Nursuka. Yeah, she describes it as summer's eve at 100 miles an hour. It's a big rush if you're not ready for that kind of fun. But you can still have a good time at a water park. Now what you do is rent an inner tube and float around the big pool with 500 children. Kind of like paying $13.50 to be a Cheerio and a urinal, I think. Butter knife? And he said, son, the K in knife is silent, like the P in swimming. Yeah. But I know when kids are doing it in a pool. Usually they're just hanging on the side, not moving. And they're kind of looking at you like, I married my high school sweetheart, and she is a sweetheart. And she is in high school. Thank you very much. No. See, that's a joke. She's not in high school yet. Real good-looking girl, though. Her parents are selfish people, and they constantly argue. When she was born, her mother said, "She's beautiful, name her after me." You're supposed to know me. That's her name, Mimi. And she has an ugly brother named Yu. Quite a family. Now, my parents are normal. My father's very funny. He's the kind of guy that'll walk up to someone with a hearing aid and right in the middle of the conversation, if your wife is Oh, he just sent more guys off refreshed batteries with that trick alone. He thinks it's so funny. And my mom has a great sense of humor, too. She married him. She's Sicilian, my mother. Beautiful. That dark black hair, right here, a little under the nose. And I think I'm ready for fatherhood. I've got all the signs, you know. I'm wearing boxer shorts now. Can't reading something, anything, it doesn't matter. Whatever's in there. Lather, rinse, repeat. Losing a little hair off the top of my head, too. This is starting to make me mad. Really, I think Phil Collins is not a bad-looking guy anymore. It's growing out of my head, though. It's just coming out of my nose now, for some reason. My ears, my neck, I got hair now back. Right above my butt, I got hair. I don't know why. What, am I turning into a woodchuck or something? Is it boyhood, manhood, beaverhood? And I'm 31 years old. I lie about my age. I tell people I'm 47. Oh, man, you look great. It's nothing, really. Or I'll hang out in front of liquor stores waiting for someone to come up. Hey, could you go in there and get me a six-pack of Lowenbrown, buddy? What? You're old enough. Yeah, I know. I just don't have any cash. $3. But I take care of myself. I think exercise is important. Maybe not weightlifting, but I'm a triathlete. And I think it's important that we all try to be an athlete. What's it take to get into this club, you know? Get up in the morning, do a sit-up, or just try. They've got things now called fun runs. Those two words don't belong quite that close together. I've had the runs. They're not fun at all. And I think I'm ready to start my own family now. I'm ready for fatherhood for a couple of reasons. Probably the biggest one is my wife is pregnant. 6 months along. It's an amazing. Yeah, thank you. My pleasure, though. But thank you very much. This is an amazing process the woman's body goes through. Each month, her belly gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like watching a Sam Peckinpah Jiffy Pop commercial or something. End of the third month, she says, I can't get into my pants. I said, well, you're not getting into mine again, okay? And the 6th month, her navel disappeared. Popped right off her belly, I guess. Everybody's looking for it, though. Strangers are rubbing my wife's belly, looking for the navel. I don't know what the hell they're doing. We're at the mall the other day. A woman walks up. Oh, look how pregnant you are. You're so cute. Let me just rub your belly. Let me just rub your belly. I'm thinking, hey! Lady! Let's give credit where credit is due here. Yeah. And we're hoping for a healthy child. We don't necessarily want a boy or a girl, as long as the kid doesn't have 6 toes. You know, how would I finish that little piggy story? And this little piggy went wee, wee, wee all the way home, This little piggy is why your shoes fit so damn tight, I think. We'll get rid of it. We found a house. Looking to buy a house, found a nice fixer-upper, needs work. The fraternity's gotta go. And the honeymoon night is still fresh on my mind. You single guys, let me give you some advice. Don't get too drunk at your reception. Because you'll end up in that honeymoon suite going, what? It doesn't work. Hey, it better work. Or you ought to have a good substitute in your Samsonite, big fella. The little woman is ready. My wife was ready. She was wearing the, what do you call it? Negligee? Lingerie? In the way? I think is what it's saying. And she was wearing crotchless panties. Well, they are now. You know. a fatherhood of dry run. I babysat my niece and nephew for a couple days, and I think weekends are made for Michelob, not kids. You know, this was a stupid combination, too. They got drunk so easy, I couldn't believe it. You know, you split a six-pack with a 10-year-old on Friday night, and he won't wake up till Sunday. It's amazing. And they get real silly after a couple beers. And my nephew's walking around,
Hey, Uncle Ruthie! I'm peeing on your puppy. Yeah, he did it to me first.
and he's a talented kid. 10 years old, former break dancer. Remember, a couple of years ago, it was very hip to spin on your head on linoleum, and now who cares? That's kind of sad. There's 10-year-old children washed up. No career. They're walking around, all this talent.
Hey, where do I spin?
The dryer? I don't care anymore, and that's sad now. You shouldn't let that talent go to waste. You do what I do with my nephew every 3 weeks. Bring him to my house, put a little mop and glow on the kid's back, and I just turn him loose in the kitchen and sing Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan, little buddy, Shaka Khan, by the sink, there's a stain, little buddy, Shaka Khan. And this kid loves Transformers, schizophrenic toys. Have you seen these things? They start out as robots, and if you bend the head back and the arms around, they're a car or a train or a plane. He doesn't understand real things at all. We gave him a dachshund puppy for Christmas. He pulled the ears off and said,
It's a seal!
But the dog claps and loves fish, so maybe it is a seal. Hail at it. So, there you go. Throw in some fish. I haven't had much luck with dogs. I had a puppy for a year, which is about all you can have a puppy, I think, lately. A lot of us have pets at home, I'm sure. One woman, one time, said,
I have fish!
now fish don't count. The definition of a pet is something you can punish. And you can't punish. Well, I guess you could, but another definition for a pet is you can't flush a pet. The plumber would be there in a minute telling him, well, here's your problem right here, pal. You've got a Doberman in your toilet. Yeah, well, he wouldn't sit. Yeah, I just remembered I have another friend who's a weightlifter. But his name isn't Chuck, it's Phil. He's not really a weightlifter, but he's fat and he can walk, so technically I think he's in there. We call him Fat Phil, and his father, Fred, has been a friend of my family's about 50 years, 40, 50 years, and Fred is a fabulous figure. Fine physique. In fact, Fred founded the family physical fitness fund fair. It's free! It's every Friday. It's in Phoenix, Fort Worth, Fresno. It's a franchise. But I figure Phil, having a father fit as a fiddle, would find Fat Powell, but Phil figures fat is fine. I find that funny. And last February, about the 1st of February, I flew by. Fred owns a filling station. I flew by to fuel up, and I found Phil in front fueling a Ford Fairlane. No, it was the 4th or 5th. Anyway, I find Phil in front of this Ford. Funky looking Ford. It was a four-wheeler, four-barrel, floor-to-floor, fuchsia, flared fenders, kind of fruity looking, right? Or no, it was further into February, the 14th. Or 15th. I forget, it was a Friday for sure, about 5:15, 5:45. Or 4:45. In fact, I was on my way to the foothills. There was a forest fire, and some friends of mine are firefighters, and I want to find my friends, so I flew by to fuel up. And I found Phil in front of this Ford fighting 5 fugitives, 4 of them. Had force Phil to fork over fistfuls of funds from his father's fueling facility while the 5th fondled Phil. Fanatically felt my fat friend. In fact, he forced Phil board. His feet were flailing from the front of the Fairlane. I flipped. I didn't find it funny, frankly. I found it foul. And I flew the first phone I could find. I phoned his fiancée, Phyllis Pfeiffer. Fox. Photogenic female. Firm fanny. Fine figure. Fabulous. Feeders. I fucked her. That's what friends are for. It was fun. Anyway, finally get Phyllis on the phone. I said, Phyllis, I just flew by your future father-in-law feeling facility. You found a bad fiance Phil out front fighting with 5 felons. Well, Phyllis fainted. Phil farted. The felons fled on foot. And I know you'll flub that up next time you tell the story. I tell you that story because Phil looks exactly like my cousin, Kevin Kay. He's a career counselor from the community college. It's in Colorado. My family is huge now. After I got married, it doubled in size. And if you line every member of my family up and name them off, they sound like a rock and roll song. Because there's Rick, Nick, Dick, Dick, Bob, Shannon, Grandma, Mama, Nana, Grandpa, Joe, Ronnie, Johnny, and my sister Connie, Flo, there's Annabelle, and my Uncle Teddy, Mo, Leah, Pia, oh, my Mamma Mia, there's Randy, Mandy, Andy, Candy, Ricky, Nicky, Vicky, Nicky, Bob, and that's my family, yeah! Driving home, if you're drunk, watch out. I was recently injured in an automobile accident that involved a drunk driver. I hit a brick wall. I probably should have taken the cardboard accordion thing out of the windshield before I left. You know, I thought it was the same billboard for 45 miles. Insurance company sent me the check. I went out shopping. My friend said, "You are what you drive." No, I don't feel like it. So I bought a white Celebrity. That's a nice car. Got AM, FM, CB, CD, cruise control, horn, lights, all on the turn indicator, too. It's like a Swiss Army blinker is what I've got now. I've got a fish scaler I'm not going to use for a couple of years. I don't know what the hell that's for. The phone is handy. I have a telephone there. Someday, we're all going to have phones in our car. And then you can call the guy in front of you and say, "Hey, asshole!" Questions have come up back here. Well, like how long are you going to drive around with the blinker on? Oh, okay, bozo, did you know your seatbelt's been making sparks since you left the mall? Huh? Oh, your name isn't Bozo, I'm sorry. I don't know your name. Oh, shock. And you get a little discount on your next pizza if you order from the car phone. Yellow Domino? Yeah, if that thing's not here in 30 minutes or less, I get $3. All right. I'm southbound on I-5. I think the nicest thing about my new car, though, is instead of buzzers and bells, I hear voices. I hear white celebrity voices. Like Mr. Rogers going,
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, beautiful day in the neighborhood. She left the lights on. Sure you did. Can you say jump start?
and then they hook Andy Rooney up to the gas gauge. So I'm driving down the street and I hear,
Have you ever noticed how much fuel you've got?
that scared the hell out of me the first time I heard that. But not half as scared as I was the first time I heard Jack Nicholson coming out of my glove box. Hey, how long you gonna drive around with the goddamn door open? Yeah. Well, I'm proud of the fact that I am from the only generation of people that can get up and dance with this. Our whole generation had to dance to that music. That's why they invented LSD. Actually, it stood for Let's Slow Dance. And I can't wait for my generation to get on and name that tune either, huh? Bunch of people without a memory? Well, I could name the band. Probably. If I had some headphones. And some incense. And a bong. Let's see how many people from my generation are here. Can you figure it out? Just shout out then. Good. Right with the program tonight, huh, sir? We have a remedial comedy club in Gilroy. Shout it out. Doobie Brothers, very good. Look at the band. The Raisin Song, very good, right? Yeah. You know, I can't even eat those things anymore. They're so... You gotta rip the little arms and legs off, first of all. Yeah, a pain in the butt to do that. I was at the store last week and a man walks up to me. I'm in aisle 3. He says, "Excuse me, where's the rubbers?" Party supplies? Condiments? Have you checked over there? Hardware, maybe. Where? Let me see your thumbs. Oh, small appliances, sir. Turns out this guy was one of the guys that was eyeing my wife when we were dancing. Took my wife out dancing, and and this guy was kind of like in the corner looking at her, kind of weird. So I figured I better dance a little closer, you know, mark my territory. So I did. I walked over and, you know, I hugged my wife and we danced. Well, I dry humped her, is what I did. But hey, I was marking my turf here. I think you understand. She got a little pissed. Got home that night and she said, honey, don't dry hump me in public. I said, well, dear, there was someone staring at you and I wanted to mark my turf, you know, and mark out my territory, you know what I mean? She said, yeah, well, thanks for not peeing on me. But I wrote her a little love song. It's a beautiful song. It goes exactly like this. Can we lower the lights, get the love song moving? All right, that is perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I wish I was a hostess. Maybe we better not do that song right now. It's kind of a personal thing. Okay, I just wanted to hear you moan. Because a moan is as good as a laugh from the right woman. Now remember that. That's the inspiration for my love song. I wish I was a sailboat. If you were the wind. Then, girl, you could blow me. Come on, you know the words, everybody, let's go. Blow me in the back. Blow me, very good. Blow me. All right, just the guys on this time. Okay? 3, 4, guys. Ladies, let's show them how it's done. 3, 4, gal. Two, 3, 4. Girls, this ain't Avon here. Come on, we've usually got a few eager beavers in the front of us singing. Oh, you probably feel stupid singing. Good one. There's a girl who knows. All right, here's a song then just for the women. Well, I wish I was a hostess Twinkie. You had the munchies. All right, we'll finish that one a little later on. Don't panic. You know, I was watching the news up here. Dr. Dean Edel.
Oh, yeah.
And he did this report. The anchorman introduced him, and he did his report on bladder cancer, how you should go when nature calls. Go when nature calls. He stressed this, and they cut back to the anchorman, and he was gone. And then they introduced the weatherman. This was in Denver. The weatherman's about 180 years old. That's where he comes out and he says,
Hello, how you doing? I'm Wesley Tweed with the weather. Let's take a look at the national weather map. There it is, look at it. Yeah, same old thing, East Coast got a little chilly. Matter of fact, Virginia got 12 inches last night. She claims it was more like 9. I'm not going to argue with her. She's an old battle axe. She's a wild thing, too. Been with a lot of men, you know. She's had more balls bounce off her ass than the backstop at Wrigley Field. Bear's acting up today. Yeah, damn. I took a bullet in the ass in WW1. Perfect shot, too. There's no hole. Okay, let's see. Seattle today, it's the 51. You know, my wife left me in 51. Yeah, ran off with a drill instructor down to Portland, where it was 47 and pleasant. Today, Sacramento was 52, and I've got a daughter in Sacramento. Good-looking kid, takes after Dad. Yeah. I forget her name, though. Well, I'm old, I'll tell you. When I was a kid, the bald eagle was just receding. Yeah, okay, San Francisco was 46 and windy. Santa Barbara was 53 and partly... That's her name, Wendy. Hell, I should have known it earlier. What? Out of time? Oh, hell. I'm almost out of time. I'm 180 years old, for Christ's sakes. I could go tomorrow. I don't even buy green bananas anymore. No, it's acting up again. I'll be back tomorrow, though. I'm doing sports tomorrow. I'm going to be interviewing a big guy, weightlifter named Chuck. Thank you. Good night. Home.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get out of here in a momentito. What time you got, young lady? Thursday. Quarter till? Oh, lots of time. Don't forget next door.
Hey, can you play a whole song?
You know, yeah, this sounds like Chuck, didn't it? All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chuck. What?
My mom's 50.
Well, I guess there's two of us who care here tonight, huh? Happy birthday, Phyllis. Are you here with us? Or are you... Phyllis Fife. Frankly, I find Phyllis fun. Well, I'm glad we can all celebrate your birthday together, Phyllis. Thanks for buying us a round of drinks. We appreciate that. You know, I was at the gym today, getting some... I was getting some Chuck material. And they pipe in the music. While you're pumping up, they're piping in, which is very convenient. And it seems like every singer has something stuck in their throat. They were playing ZZ Top. Bob Seger.
I'm looking to
Stewart with Bob Dylan? Because they both have an O in the middle of their first name, or just because they're both butt-hugging ugly? Maybe that.
Bob Dylan. How much wood to the wood chop, chop? Good chop, good chop. After my friend, you blow it out your hand. Answer is blow it out your hand.
It's such an easy impression to do. Is all it takes. Try it. Here. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Up. Very good. Now tonight when you go home, whenever that may be, you may go next door to DB Cooper's and have a couple cocktails, and then they're going to announce closing time. Last call. That's when people start looking around going, last call? I need someone, anyone. It doesn't matter at this point. My standards dropped 20 minutes ago. I don't want true love, just your blowjob in the parking lot wouldn't be bad. And guys are just as bad, I know that for sure. So here's a typical man and a typical woman late at night, right after last call. Here's the guy. And here's the girl. Last call.
It's 7:30 right now, 115 degrees, and we could set a record by noon.
Oh, bitchin'! How can I help? Maybe fire up the hibachi out back or something? Get that 120 degrees. You know, the warm setting in my oven is 110. So I was crawling in there all week trying to cool off, thinking that's gotta be the coolest spot in the desert. And locals say, well, sure, it's 120, but it's a dry heat. What kind of logic is that? I'm sure I threw up all night, but it was just a dry heave. I think dry hump is on the category, too. That, a lot of pleasure out of that. And they're playing football in this beautiful heat, too. Professional football team they've got now in Phoenix, the Cardinals. Phoenix Cardinals. Those are two birds, aren't they? That's like the Doberman Dachshunds or something. You can't name your team that. Unless they're referring to the religious figure. Maybe that's it. Maybe they're talking about the Cardinals, which would make for some great helmets on these guys, I think.
Got a headbutt would kill ya! Ow! Jesus Christ!
I didn't mean Jesus Christ. I meant shit. And it's not like you grow up in the desert playing football.
Okay, Jimmy. You go to the cactus, cut left, and I'll hit you by the lizard.
Then I went down to New Orleans. It's 100 degrees and 100% humidity. Oh, what? These people are growing gills that live there. That's why they talk that way. I'm in New Orleans. This guy looks at me and he says, "Who day? Get yourself a burger, go now. I want to go to what you need to try. Who day? What you Yeah, that's what I ordered. Big Mac fry and a Coke, but I don't feel like a coon ass. Then I went to Vegas, broke a sweat there, tried to cool off at a water park. Yeah, like Raging Waters. I took a trip down a 200-foot water slide. Yeah, oh, every man should do this. The name of the water slide is Derhuka. No, that's where I got it. It's called Derhuka. Because this is the way you talk, and you drop 200 feet. Actually, I think Derhuka is a German word that means, where's my shorts? And my wife took a trip down, and she describes it as
Summer's Eve at 100 miles an hour.
yeah, well, she goes head first now. A couple ladies over here going, no. It's a big rush if you're not ready for that kind of fun. Hey, you can still have a good time at a water park, though. What you do is you rent an inner tube and float around the big pool with
500 children. Oh, boy.
It's kind of like paying $13.50 to be a Cheerio in a urinal. You know kids, they get surrounded by water, they donate. Have you ever seen a line for the bathroom in a water park? No. My dad taught me that years ago. Once I said, Dad, can I use your butter knife? And he said, son, the K in knife is silent, like the P in swimming. That's good news. But I know when they're doing it, I can tell. Usually they're hanging on to the side, not moving. And they're kind of looking at you like this. I mentioned my wife earlier. I got married last year. I married my high school sweetheart. And she is a sweetheart. And she is in high school. That's a joke. She's not in high school yet. But a good-looking gal really is, and her parents are just selfish, I think, and they constantly argue. When she was born, her mother said,
She is beautiful. Name her after me.
Your father said, no, me. That's her name, Amy. Then she has an ugly brother named Yu. Thank you both. I appreciate that. Now, my parents are normal. I think my dad's a very funny guy. He's actually the kind of guy that'll walk up to someone with a hearing aid, and then right in the middle of the conversation, if your wife and he sent more guys off for fresh batteries with that trick alone. He thinks it's funny, I guess. My mom has a great sense of humor. She married him. Sicilian woman, my mother. She's got that beautiful, dark, black hair. Right here, a little under the nose. And I think I'm ready for fatherhood. I've got all the signs. I'm losing hair off the top of my head. I'm starting to think Phil Collins is not a bad-looking guy, actually. I'm growing hair, though. It's just not coming out my head. It's coming out my nose now. My ears, above my neck, above my butt. I've got a lot of hair. I don't know why. I think I'm turning into a woodchuck or something here. Does it go boyhood, manhood, beaverhood? And I'm 31 years old. I lie about my age. I tell people I'm 48. Oh, shit, you look great. Well, it's nothing, really. Or I'll hang out in front of liquor stores and wait for someone to walk up and say, hey, could you go in there and give me a six-pack of Lowenbrau? What? You're old enough. Yeah, I know. I just don't have any cash. And I try to exercise whenever I can. I'm a triathlete, actually, and I think it's important. We all should try to be an athlete like me. It doesn't take much, really. You get up in the morning, you do a sit-up, or just try, and you make it. You're in there. They've got things now called fun runs. Hey, I've had the runs, and they're not fun at all. I don't know what these people are talking about. I think the biggest reason I believe I'm ready for fatherhood is my wife's pregnant. Thank you. It's my pleasure, but thank you anyway. She's 7 months pregnant. This is where the navel completely disappears. I don't know where it went. At the end of the 3rd month, she says,
I can't get into my pants.
so, well, can't get into mine either anymore. It's pretty much over. I tried that once. The 6th month, she says.
My navel's gone.
And people are looking for it now. Strangers in the mall are rubbing my wife's belly. Everybody rubs my wife's belly now.
So you're so cute. Look at you. Look how pregnant you are. Let me just rub your belly.
I'm thinking, hey, lady, let's give credit where credit is due. we got a lot of furniture for it. I'm buying this assemble-at-home furniture, you know. Save a couple $100 if you put it together yourself, but 6 months to put a sofa together. That wicker is a bitch, I'll be honest with you. But it'll be nice adding to the size of my family because it's huge already. In fact, if you line up my family and name them off, they sound like an old rock and roll song. Because there's Rick, Nick, Dick, Dick, Bob, Shannon, Grandma, Mama, Nonna, Grandpa, Joe, Ronnie, Johnny, and my sister Connie, Flo, there's Eddie, Betty, and my Uncle Teddy, Molly, Pia, oh, Mama Mia, there's Randy, Randy, Andy, Candy, Ricky, Nicky, Vicky, Dicky, Bob. Like that old rock and roll stuff, huh? The new stuff is what I can't figure out. Run DFD, I know that's... I don't actually have any of the albums or anything. I just follow mini trucks really close and I can... What is it with the sound systems on these small trucks now? One's coming down my street last week. I ran out and tried to buy a Nutty Buddy off her. Any truck with music that loud coming out of it better sell me some ice cream. That's all I can. Now, I'm actually from the only generation of people that can dance to this. That's why they invented LSD. In fact, it stood for Let's Slow Dance. And I can't wait for my generation to get on name that tune. A bunch of people without a memory? Name the band. Probably. Let's play a little Name That Tune. See how many people from my generation are here. Yugi Brothers. I can name the band. Those things anymore, they're so cute. You gotta take the arms and legs off, first of all. And last week, I'm trying to buy them. I'm standing there in aisle 3 at Safeway. I figure it's a safe place to shop, and a guy walks up to me and says, where's the rubbers? Hardware? Small appliances, sir. Yeah. Some romantic music. I played this on my honeymoon and had a very good time. You single guys, let me tell you something first of all. Don't get too drunk at your reception. No, you'll end up in the honeymoon suite going,
It doesn't work.
it better work. Or you better have a good substitute in your Samsonite, pal, because the little woman is ready for romance. My wife was ready. She was wearing the negligee, lingerie, in the way, and she was wearing crotchless panties. Julio. But it seems to make it big as a singer, you have to have something stuck in your throat, your nose, your mouth. Like ZZ Top, have you heard them sing lately? Bob Seger has a problem too. Joe Walsh had the biggest problem. Sure, there'll be more. Wilbur. Just thinking, I was up here visiting some relatives. I have another friend of mine who's a weightlifter. Well, technically he's a weightlifter. Fat Phil. 'Cause he weighs 400 pounds and he can walk, so I think he's in that weightlifting category. And it's funny because Phil is fat, and his father, Fred, has been a friend of my family's about 50 years, 40, 50 years. And Fred is a fabulous figure, fine physique. In fact, Fred founded the Family Physical Fitness Fun Fair. It's free. It's every Friday. It's in Phoenix, Fort Worth, Fresno. It's a franchise. But I figured Phil, having a father fit as a fiddle, would find fat foul, but Phil figures fat is fine. I find that funny. And last February, about the 1st of February, I flew by Fred on the filling station. I flew by the fuel up, and I found Phil in front fueling his Ford Fairlane. No, it wasn't Ford. Or Fifth. Anyway, I find Phil in front of this funky-looking Ford. It was a four-wheeler, four-barrel, four-on-the-floor, fuchsia, flared fenders, kind of fruity-looking, frankly. And no, it was further than February, the 14th or 15th. I forget, it was a Friday for sure, about 5:15, 5:45. Or 4:15, in fact, I was on my way to the foothills. There was a forest fire. Some friends of mine are firefighters. I want to find my friend. So I flew by to fuel up, and I find Phil in front fighting with 5 fugitives. 4 of them had forced Phil to fork over fistfuls of funds from his father's fueling facility, while the 5th fondled Phil. Fanatically fell for my fat friend. In fact, he had forced Phil into the front of the Ford. His feet were flailing from the front of the Fairlane. I fled. I didn't find it funny, frankly. I found it foul. And I flew to the first phone I could find. Phoned his fiancée, Phyllis Pfeiffer. Fox. Photogenic female. Firm Fanny. Fine figure. Fabulous. Full. Feeders. I fucked her. And that's what friends are for. It's fine. Anyway, I finally get Phyllis on the phone. I said, Phyllis, I just flew by your future father-in-law's fueling facility. You found me family. I said, Phil, I'm in front fighting with 5 felons. Well, Phyllis fainted. Phil farted. The felons fled on foot. tell the story. But I tell you about Phil because he looks exactly like my cousin, Kevin Kay. He's a career counselor at a community college. From Colorado. My new cousin, actually, I have a lot of new relatives now that I'm married. I inherited quite a few of them. I got some nieces. Now I got a nephew, former breakdancer. Remember a couple years ago, it was very hip to spin on your head on linoleum. And now who cares? Kind of sad too. There's children washed up, no career. They're walking around all this talent.
Hey, where do I spin?
Up the dryer, maybe? I don't care. But don't let that talent go to waste. Do what I do with my nephew. Every 2 weeks, I bring him to my house, I put mop and glow on the kid's back, and just turn him loose in the kitchen and sing, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan, little buddy. Little buddy, Shaka Khan by the sink. There's a stain, little buddy, Shaka Khan. Saves me a lot of work, I'll tell you that. And this kid loves the new toys. Transformers, schizophrenic toys. You know these things, they start out as robots, and you bend the head back and the arms around, and they're a car. Or a plane, or a train, whatever. He doesn't understand real things at all. We gave him a dachshund puppy for Christmas last year. He pulled the ears off and said,
It's a seal.
but the dog claps and loves fish, so maybe it is I. And my nephew also enjoys Michael Jackson, the ultimate transformer. What's that story? He's got new forehead now, new cheekbones, new nose, new lips. You know, he's got so much plastic in his face, you'd figure when you push his chin back, candy should come out his neck. Yeah, okay, Michael Paz Jackson. He'll be on the next album, I'm sure. Now, I know you're having a couple cocktails tonight. I can see that by the look on the table here, and that's good for you. Be careful, though, driving around. Seriously. I was injured recently in an automobile accident that involved a drunk driver. I hit a brick wall. You know, I probably should have taken that cardboard accordion thing out of the windshield before I left the party. I thought it was the same billboard for 45 miles. All right. If I need help, I'll call the police. But I got a new car out of the deal. Went out car shopping with my buddy, and he said, "You are what you drive." No, I don't feel like it. So I bought a white Celebrity. Yeah, well, a little wishful thinking. But it's a nice car. AM, FM, CB, CD, cruise control, forward, lights, everything. All on the turn indicator. Like right here. Everything. It's like a Swiss Army blinker is what I've really got right here. You know, I've got a fish scaler I'm not going to use for a while, I'm sure. The phone is handy. Having a telephone right there in the front of your car, because someday we all will. Then you can call the guy in front of you and say, "Hey, asshole!" Yeah, a couple questions have come up back here. But like, how long are you going to drive around with the blinker on? Oh, okay, bozo. Did you know your seatbelt was making sparks since you left the mall? And you get $3 off your next pizza if you have a phone in your car. Think of this. Hello, Domino's? Yeah, if that thing's not here in 30 minutes or less, I get through. Right. Okay, I'm southbound on I-5. And this car talks to me. This is amazing. Instead of buzzers and bells, I hear voices, white celebrity voices. Like Mr. Rogers going,
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, beautiful day in the neighborhood. But you left your lights on. Sure you did. Can you say? Jump, start.
and then they hook Andy Rooney up to the gas gauge, so I hear,
Have you ever noticed how much fuel you've got?
and it scared the hell out of me the first time I heard that. But not half as scared as I was the first time I heard Jack Nicholson coming out of my glove box.
Hey. Hey, how long you gonna drive around with the goddamn door open?
Thank you so much. Have a good night tonight, would you? Thank you.
Nails.
All right, thank you, Jim. I did that on purpose because I was videotaping and I only needed to tape 35 minutes. So now we can fuck around for the next 2 hours. Thank you so much. I think some more music is in order, actually. And I have to find out about these costumes down here, boy. This is a big group, but you know each other or you just... all that's going, man, we're all pretty good. You trick or treat? It would be nice to give shooters out at each house. I didn't ever. Trick or treat? Whoa, fuck, man. It's my third house, and I'm way buzzed already. Last year I was in Seattle for Halloween. Everybody looks the same. It's like, ooh, there's a ghost in a raincoat. Ooh, there's a witch in a raincoat. Ooh, there's a bunch of kids in a raincoat. Actually, I'd like to play a love song that I wrote on my honeymoon for Mimi. A song for me and Mimi. Can we lower the lights, get the love song mood in here? It's perfect, thank you.
Well, I wish I was a sailboat and you were the wind, and girl, you could blow me. And blow me, blow me,
Pretty song, isn't it? Come on, you know the words. Sing it with me. 3, 4, and oh, very good. Oh, really good. Guys only, okay? 3, 4, guys. Very good. All right, ladies only now. Just the gals. 3, 4, girls. Girls. 3, 4, here we go. Here we go. Yes. Stand up and take a bow, young lady. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, we have one eager beaver right here. I guess the rest of you girls might feel kind of silly. just for the girls. Well, I wish I was a hostess Twinkie. Let's finish that later on in the show. Boy. Well, you're a very good crowd of people, let me tell you that. I know. And I know shitty crowds, so. Last group I performed for was a convention of Shriners. Yeah, or else everybody in the audience was wearing an ice bucket. Little hats, what are those things? Useless hats. Although at 7-Eleven, they'll fill them with Pepsi for 49 cents. Maybe they're a big gulp with a tassel, that's what they do. Then I had to perform for a convention of psychics, and they laughed before every joke. But except one joke, so I didn't tell it. Why bother with these guys? And I had the square dancers. Big group of goat rope and fun fucking folks there, I'll tell you. They have incredible clothing, too. The women's skirts. Is that part of a car wash under there or something? Like if I run between two of them real quick, maybe I'll clean my pants. And their partners are always anorexic, slim-witted lookalikes. These guys. And they're just ready to dance wherever they're told because they have no blood in their brain. They all have to wear this piece of material that matches their partner's skirt around the guy's neck here. In case they're ever separated, I guess. I don't know what the hell this is for. And it's cinched to his throat. It won't let blood into his brain, so they have to hire a guy to shout directions the whole time. The caller stands over here. Your partner's spin them on the ground. Gonna don't say no. Gonna meet them in the middle with the right and left. Gonna spin them all around. Gonna kick them in the ass. Gonna promenade. Yeah. Hey, I'd love to get him drunk once before work and just turn him loose on these people, you know? Let them play Twister naked or something.
Hey, couple sentimental in your birthday suits. No, you should wear your cowboy boots. Now grab your partner, slap in the face, and give me all your money and get out of this place.
Then I had the toughest gig of my life, performing for weightlifters. Oh God, I would tell them a joke, explain it. You know, I just don't think you're that smart if you make your body so big you can't scratch your own ass. And they're all named Chuck. Every weightlifter I met, I'd say, hey, what's your name, big guy? Chuck. And one Chuck I met, this was in the casino Riviera Hotel in Vegas. He was standing by the roulette wheel, trying to buy a vowel. And they let him. $150, and he took a J. Then I saw him later on the same night, standing there in the casino with his buddy Chuck. And this Chuck's going, I'm winning. I'm winning, dude. And I said, well, you're playing the change machine. These are one-to-one odds, big fella. You gotta buck in, buck out all night here, Charlie. Really? No way. Really? Could you scratch my butt real quick? And while I was in Vegas, I was watching the news, and on the weekends, they do this little report with Dr. Dean Adele. Yeah, they do them up here too, I think. And the anchorman introduced Dr. Dean Adele, and the doctor did this report on bladder cancer, how you should go when nature calls. He stressed this through the whole program. Go when nature calls. And they cut back to the anchorman. He was gone. I'm watching the news, man. This guy must have been 150 years old. His name was Wesley. He comes on and he goes,
Hello, how you doing? Gorgeous day today, wasn't it? Anyway, let's take a look at the national weather scene. There it is. Look at it. Same old thing, East Coast, West Coast. Got a little chilly on the east side last night. Virginia got 12 inches. She claims it was more like 9. I'm not gonna argue. You know, Virginia's a feisty old gal. She's been around for years. Kind of slinky. Really, she's had more balls bounce off her ass than the backstop of Wrigley Field. Oh, sorry, I got a war injury acting up today. God damn. Well, you know, I took a bullet in the ass in WW1. It's a perfect shot. And there's no hole. All right, start off in Seattle, then 51 in Seattle, and I had a... You know, my wife left me at 51. They ran off with a drill instructor down to Portland, where it was 57 today. Lovely place, Portland. I spent a lot of time up there when I was a kid. Because I'm an old man, I tell you. When I was a kid, the bald eagle was just receding, so you know how old I am. Approximately. Anyway, Sacramento, beautiful day, 54, and my daughter lives in Sacramento. I forget her name, but she's a good-looking kid, takes after Dad. All right, let's move on. San Francisco was 53 and windy. Santa Barbara was 64 and sunny out there. I'll tell you. That's her name, Wendy. Yeah. Huh? We're out of time. Well, hell, I'm almost out of time. I could die tomorrow. I don't even buy green bananas anymore. Let me do some more. Huh? Oh, yeah, I guess I'm out of here. See you tomorrow. I'm doing sports tomorrow. Yeah, I'm interviewing a weightlifter, big guy named Chuck. Thank you. Great.
It is definitely a night to go out and celebrate. Still kind of Halloween feeling in the air. You might want to go next door, D.B. Cooper's. Yeah! To find this guy, I guess. Sounds fun. Thank him so much. Last night I was over there watching people. They give last call, you know, and that's when you start thinking, shit, last call? Well, my standards dropped 20 minutes ago. I need someone, anyone. Not true love, just maybe a blowjob in the parking lot would get me by. And here's the typical guy and a typical girl. Last ball has just been given, and they need each other in the worst way. Here's the guy. Here's the girl.